So, if we're being real here, the WNBPA leadership needs to step down by Friday. And that comes down to the entire executive committee. Um, it's the entire executive committee. I mean it. Either that or Terry Carmichael's gone. Terry Carmichael Jackson's gone. She's gone. And the executive committee get in a room with the league by Friday and talk it out and come to a conclusion that they're all happy with. The league need to have absolutely I actually personally think the best thing would be for every single player in the WNBA or every single player in the WNBA EC to step down too. I think that would be the best thing. At this stage, the WNBPA has shown one thing and one thing only, and I don't know who. This could be Terry Carmichael Jackson out for her own thing. This could be players on the way out. I've heard conspiracy theories that the players on the way out. And again, I am not making this accusation, nor am I giving it any credibility. But in terms of making it make sense why this is all happening, it is literally they're sabotaging the league. They're sabotaging the players. They're trying to force towards a strike. And I've heard a conspiracy theory that they think that these players who are at the very end of their career know that they might not get signed this year and might want to have political aspirations post-career. And if they just perpetually fight, if the league burns down and they're perpetually fighting this and they believe they burned down for a good cause, it jumpstarts their political career. I don't believe that to be the case. But that being said, nothing's off the table right now. They're literally trying to burn down the league. They're trying to sabotage the league and burn down the league. Because again, at the end of this article, it says it perfectly here. That basically, the members who are ready to make a deal, what the WNBPA are doing isn't helping the people that want to make a deal. It's not helping the people who think further negotiation is required but want to play. It is only benefiting people who want to strike no matter what. And there are people on the PA, by the sounds of things, that want to strike no matter what. Why? I don't know who it benefits. The only people who it benefits to strike are people who don't like basketball. Who are going out, want to go out on a whim. And by the way, everyone, Lexi Brown is the funniest thing. She's like, oh yeah, I'm under contract, I'm good. I'm like, well, yeah, you're going to be the least paid player in the league next year no matter what. So even if you're guaranteed a spot in the league, okay, cool. But if the league goes on strike, you're pretty much guaranteed your strike money, which probably is about your 100% of your contract. So hell yeah. You can realistically, if you're Lexi Brown, I could be completely wrong with this, but by the looks of things, there's a good chance Lexi Brown makes equally as much money sitting at home and not playing as she does playing. And I'm going to be honest here with Lexi Brown, through no fault of her own, her career, her basketball playing career is probably done. It is an inspirational story, the fact that she has done what she's done, given all the health issues. But her career is done. She's an aging player who averages 2 points per game. What are we doing? Bree Turner is an aging player who averages a half a point per game. I understand Bree Turner's a solid defender. I understand she's a solid role player. But her impact last season as a whole was not greater than Michaela Timpson's. And I think Michaela Timpson is so far off being a WNBA player. I mean this when I say this. Alicia Clark was her team didn't want her. The Storm took her out of the rotation. Her team didn't want her. She was used as a make-weight and veteran presence for a young team. She's either out of the league or she's signing a minimum. Alicia Clark is this close to being, is either out of the league or signing a minimum. Obviously, there's the big three. I don't have a fucking clue the way neck is stinging. But Alicia Clark averaged 3.9 points per game last year. And I'm just going to check the game log for Alicia Clark. But she was taken out of the rotation for the Seattle Storm. The Seattle Storm paid her big money. And by the time that she was traded, like, she was down to playing 6 minutes some games, 5 minutes other games. Actually, no, she wasn't. Sorry, she wasn't. She was in the rotation. But, like, this is a spell, like, I'm sorry, at 39 years old, this is a spell of game. This is a spell of points and games that Alicia Clark went on last year. 0 points, 0 points, 0 points, 0 points, 4 points, 0 points, 4 points, 0 points, 3 points. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, she scored 11 points. She averaged 1 point per game. Like 1.1 points per game. Was it 1.1 or 1.2? Either way, 1.2 points per game over her last 9 games for the Seattle Storm last year. While shooting 0%. I know she made a 3. While shooting like what, 5% from 3? 5% from 3 for a shooter. She averaged 3.9 points per game because she started getting minutes for the Mystics because the Mystics were trying to lose. Like, especially at the end of the year, let's not forget the Washington Mystics were in the playoffs. They lost like 10 games in a row at the end of the season. They were trying to lose. They started playing her big minutes because they were trying to lose. And you can see it here. Average 4.5 points per game. She shot 24% from 3. She shot 27% from 3 last year for a person that only shoots threes. Like, Alicia Clark she's done. She's out of the league. She's talking about a strike. She's probably not going to be in the league. It's easy to strike. It is easy to strike when you're about to be out of the league. Just putting it out there. It is really, really easy to strike when you're out of the league. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know how the players can do this, but like there's clearly no trust because, as well, like Stewie and Plum came out yesterday and said that the players are coming to them because they're scared to talk about. They're scared to be labeled anti-union by the Players Association. So what did the Players Association do? They leaked the letter, decided to take a private matter and make it public and air their and make Stewie and thing have to air their grievances publicly, put public pressure on the players, so then they have to fall back in line and intimidate them again. All they've done is intimidate the players into doing their bidding, and what their bidding is a strike. That's what they want to do. This inflatable rat, all this bullshit, all this we call BS, all this stuff. It is all ship sailing towards a strike. That is all they want. That is all that. I don't know who it is. But the total leadership, again, they're manipulating surveys, everything. All they want is a strike. They don't want basketball to be played. I don't know why. We can only speculate for why, but it is evident from what we're hearing that, like, again, let's be completely real with Howard Makel here. He's talking about insiders who've read these 6 people. He's talking to players and agents. He is talking to players and agents who literally have come out and said that they're using push polling methodology surveying isn't a question of searching for an answer, at least a skewing of usefulness for the PA itself. Who is it for? Basically, they're skewing the data so that they can justify a strike. It is malicious. It is anti-player. It is anti-worker. I don't give a fly. I don't at the end of the day, I don't really care about labor relations in this regard. I just want to watch basketball. So I don't really care about labor relations with all of this. At the end of the day, that's a conversation someone else can have. It's not me. At the end of the day, they are anti-basketball. They're anti-basketball. Whoever is making these decisions is anti-basketball. And because I don't think it's going to be just announced being like, look, this person is the reason why it's all going wrong. We're getting rid of them. I don't think that's how it's going to work. I think it should be disbanded. And I don't know who you bring in. Like, for me, no matter what, at that negotiation table, there has to be Paige, Caitlin, Angel, Sabrina, Aja, even if they don't want to be there. The 5 of those players have to be there. There needs to be some form of a meeting where where there are a certain amount of players, 10 or less, sit down with the owners. The lawyers are there. They're there on behalf. It should be those 5 and then any other 5 that the players nominate themselves. If they're serious about getting anything done, it should be those 5. 5 players that the players nominate, that those 5 have no say in. Players can nominate anyone. It'll probably be a Natasha Cloud. And I don't even mind having a Natasha Cloud there in the meeting because you need to have people that are maybe looking at things from a different perspective. If you have alongside those 5, you've got a couple of you've got young players. I think you bring in a fucking college player. If we're being real here, they're not part of the union, but this isn't a union worker dispute thing. This is we need to get this season done. This is a sports league. If there's a local college player, if you can get AZ down, bring AZ down. If you get a really good young player, if you can get Sonia in the building, I don't care if she doesn't really want to speak up. She's one of the top young players, or Kiki, one of those two. You get those in it, and then you get the vets, the super vets. A Sid Colson can be in there, a Tash Cloud can be in there, but like it has to be just maybe 10 players. You bring a couple of agents. They're in a room, or they're in multiple different rooms. They're having different conversations. They're coming to each other. They're there for a day, and something needs to be done. But it won't be done with this current PA leadership. There is no outcome, in my opinion, there is no outcome other than a strike with this current PA leadership. Sorry, there is 2 outcomes. Yeah, no, there's no outcome other than a strike. I think there is, what could happen again is the PA could split. It could literally split into 2 separate unions. Like players could tear up their union contracts, and certain players could leave and start another union, and that union could work with the league. I don't know how exactly that works, but like if there are 50% of players that believe the union are not working on their behalf and 50% that do, I don't know how that works in terms of US labor laws. But at the end of the day, the PA is leaking these letters to shame those that speak out, to try shame. And by the way, you do realize the PA have not addressed one claim made by Stewie or Plum. They just leaked it to cause outrage, and that they had to come together for unity. And then Kelsey Plums goes and talks to Howard Megdal and reveals that it's 100 times worse than their letter suggested. That the letter was a private thing, that the reality is way worse. So yeah, we're a united front. Fuck that. No, they're not. At the end of the day, the players are intimidated by their PA. The PA aren't looking out for the players. And for whatever reason, they're looking to strike. I don't know what that reason is. We can only speculate. We can only speculate on the reason, but they are looking for an excuse to strike. I don't know why. I genuinely don't. And it's sometimes fun to speculate in these scenarios. And obviously I've thrown in a conspiracy theory, but at the end of the day, I haven't a fucking clue. I don't know why. It seems like a dumb idea, but clearly a lot of people on the way out are trying to burn it down as they leave.